We are here today to talk about something that's really on my heart and in my mind these days. It's part of it's what I'm viewing it as is a vehicle that's occupying our hearts, our minds, whether we want more health, whether someone we care about is struggling with something, a diagnosis, or what is the conversation that we're hearing? Things are expensive, or I want to dream, I want to start studying, I want to you know I have a goal, I want to travel. So it's either what I'm seeing is what I'm hearing is people are wanting more health or more financial resources for a goal. And the reason we're gathered here today is for me to share with you an opportunity. And I want you to think of it as a vehicle. It's been pretty profound for me to understand that, before we can even have this conversation about the vision and the mission of a company called Prime My Body, we have to step back and think about or ask ourselves the question, why am I here? Who am I? And what is my mission? What do I want to do with my life? And how do I be of more service? One of the most important medical discoveries of our time is the endocannabinoid system. And if you're in the world today, you might have heard about it. You've obviously heard about cannabis and CBD, but the endocannabinoid system is it's like a hard wiring system in your brain and all over your body that has receptors for the cannabis plant. And this is why it's so mind blowing and why CBD and cannabis is in the conversation. Last November, we had the Farm Bill Act, which deregulated hemp. And this is, for the first time, Americans have access to this plant that we have receptors in our brain for. I kind of say in some of my lectures for my patients in Santa Cruz, you can juice, you can eat kale all day long, but they're not going to go into the brain and conduct like cannabis, nothing else. It is literally like a paradigm shift. It's like, psh, it's like mind blowing that cannabis is become so important in our life. So if you haven't seen the benefits of CBD or CBG, the benefits of cannabis, absolutely go to PubMed or some reputable medical institutions to look at the unbelievable research that's been coming up around cancer and endometriosis and anxiety and Parkinson's and insomnia and all these amazing ways that once this extract goes in the body, it can allow you to have an exhale, some spaciousness to be who you want to be. And we live in a time where people are living from the neck up. We live in a time where people are tied to their busyness, their technology, and I feel like a lot of it's about disconnection. And this plant has really served as a vehicle to reconnect people to, it sounds spiritual, and it is, but reconnect people to their why, who they are. And so they can have deeper connections with other people and feel good. People don't feel good. And I want to live in a world where people feel good. And this has been answered prayer for a lot of people. And I say that because every time I share a bottle, it allows me to have a conversation with people about where they're at, a real meaningful conversation. So let's talk about this company, more of a revolution, called Prime My Body, 2 years old. And they are all about creating a lifestyle so you don't have to go on vacation, creating a lifestyle where you're making choices, voting with your dollar, investing in companies, buying products, using products, recommending products that are sustainable from the plant, from the Mother Earth, that, products that we use every day. So I talked about the deregulation of cannabis with the Farm Bill in 2018. And this is the deal. Anytime there's a deregulation, there's a huge financial, opportunity. Think about the last time, which was a prohibition, and what happened with alcohol. Alcohol is obviously very different than cannabis. Cannabis is something that's going to wake you up to who you're meant to be. And we're looking at the numbers here. I mean, 2018, last year, there was $590 million in sales in the United States. Look at that, 22 billion in a couple of years. So if you have your business hat on and you know what's up with the conversation or going to be in the conversation wherever you're living, it's about CBD and it's about cannabis. So it's really where investors are putting their money. people, farmers are growing this crop, and people that are in sales are wanting to get into the industry. So people are wanting to be a part of it, which is super exciting. I think about how I'm spending my money, who I'm spending my time with, what am I spending, what am I thinking about? And I had the chance to meet Paul Rogers many times. And he has a very personal story, which I'm sure you can imagine, of why he got into cannabis. Anytime you look at being involved in a company, not just from a business standpoint to rep them, but more importantly, who's the steward, who's the captain, because you want to be in a full alignment. I know I do. He had a child who wasn't well, and again, it led him down the path of saying, this is a plant that we need to figure out how to get everybody access to it. And again, once you understand how important it is for everybody to be on some ratio of cannabinoids, some ratio of terpenes, you will realize how potent and timely this opportunity is. So from a business standpoint, you want to know that whoever's running the company is going to be successful and has success. He has so much success in business. I don't want to go into all the details, but really great. And behind him is a team. It's all about your support. You want to be, it takes a village to really start a movement, a revolution. And these are some of the key people behind it. So let's talk about the science. Let's talk about the chemist, the formulator, the doctor behind the main two products. And it's Dr. Cheng Ron. And what's really cool about him is that his mom is an acupuncturist, herbalist, and his dad is a Western MD. So he grew up, smelling Chinese herbs. And, again, I don't know what his relationship with Western was, but really he found the balance between understanding what true integrative medicine is. And he's been able to really formulate products that are really making a difference in people. We have some other products. We have a pet line, Dr. Crystal Eng. She's just finishing out the new clinical trial with dogs and cats. So we're super excited in a few weeks to see that new pet formula. And then Dr. Ankur Mehta, he's the gentleman that has figured out how to stabilize nitric oxide and pair it with CBD. That's changing, revolutionizing the skincare industry. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But more importantly, this is the question you need to ask yourself. And I want you to keep this close in your thoughts and on your heart when you're meeting people, when you're genuinely interested in how people are doing. That's the thing that's up for me. And people don't even know that they have this system called the endocannabinoid system that is supposed to allow you to be in balance, to be able to have we call relaxed energy. And once you understand the basic fundamentals about this system, its main job is homeostasis. So you're present, so you're clear. It's pretty profound. And there's a lot of reasons why this system might not be working. Poor immune, I would say nutrition, lack of nutrition, long-term infections, chronic disease, alcohol, drug abuse, long-term of pharmaceuticals, environmental toxins, genetic factors. There are reasons why this system may have never been working in your lifetime or your mom or grandmother's lifetime. So this is why my only hope is people get curious. What would my life be like if I had this hemp extract crossing the blood-brain barrier in seconds? Lubricating all my receptors, resuscitating this system that could have been dormant for decades. And what would my life be like if I felt better, if I was in flow state all the time? One of the things we say in Taoism is that you don't say to the river, I want you to flow this way. You jump into the river that's already flowing. And part of what this hemp extract does is it gets you to be in flow state. Okay, it's not if you falter, it's how quickly you can get back in. So let's talk about this particular formula. It's called Recept. It's a broad spectrum hemp extract. That means that it's a whole plant extract, meaning it has CBD, CBG, some other cannabinoids. It has 7 terpenes. We call it broad spectrum, which means the entourage effect, which means we're not just plucking out CBD and adding it into ethanol or adding it into olive oil. We're wanting everything from the plant. For a lot of reasons, it's THC free, non-GMO, soy-free, gluten-free, ethanol-free, super important. It's in a glass bottle and it has a glass dropper that's calibrated to make sure that you get the right dosage. Really, really powerful studies coming out with this oil observational studies, a couple hundred patients out of Texas. But again, if you don't know about what this product can do for you and you haven't tried it, definitely ask the person that invited you to this video. The reason why this is so different than other hemp and CBD oils out there is the delivery system. Take a look at this slide. If you're on Zoom, you'll notice that the larger the liposome, the larger the oil is from the cannabis plant, then you're going to have to digest it through the stomach. So this company uses sonication, it's sound technology, to blast this cannabis oil to make it so small that your brain thinks it literally created itself. So there's no barrier to absorption. So what we're finding is that this hemp extract is being absorbed in like 1 second. I mean, they're saying 1/3 of 1 second, which is kind of hard to even get your brain around. So absolutely rapid absorption, because a lot of people are trying products on the market and they're very good at marketing, but what's happening is they have to go through the stomach, and then you're relying on your digestion and your absorption, and cannabis can be an expensive molecule. So you want to make sure that you're getting a product not only that's clean of pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and heavy metals and all that kind of stuff, but you're wanting to get something that has no barrier to absorption, so you can feel the results. So one of the things I want to mention on this slide is that there's a lot of cannabinoids and a lot of terpenes in the cannabis plant. And what's happening is, if you don't have a chemist or doctor or a formulator that really understands herbal medicine, the synergistic effect of everything from the plant, then they'll take out all this other stuff. So I relate this to baking a cake. You need that teaspoon of vanilla, that pinch of salt. Those little items, even if they're in trace amounts, are critical for the cake to be successful. Very similar to this hemp extract. You want, even if there's trace amounts of humulene or trace amounts of CBG, which actually in this product there's a lot of CBG, you want all of that in there. You know, one thing to note on CBG is that CBG, they're calling the stem cell cannabinoid. It's actually the precursor to CBD and THC. Most people know about CBD. I always tell people, I kind of joke, you know, the publicist for CBD did a great job, because CBD is obviously like the mother cannabinoid. But what we're finding now clinically is that CBG can often make CBD work better, but it also has the most amazing holistic benefits on its own. So Recept has 30 milligrams of CBG. A couple other companies have 1 to 5 milligrams of CBG, but I found that Recept having the most, it has been very beneficial. So what I'm seeing in the clinic, as an Oriental medical doctor, is that a lot of people are getting treated for the side effects of not having a good night's sleep. They're on medication for weight loss. They're on medication for, you know, again, a lot of different things. But if they just got a good night's sleep, they wouldn't even need those things. So this slide says a productive day begins with a good night rest. Well, they came out with mixing up the amount of cannabinoids and mixing up the amount of terpenes and adding some other things in there like ashwagandha and, you know, again, a lot of different botanicals and neurotransmitters to give people a relaxed, deep sleep. It's actually very good during the day, just a couple drops for anxiety, for a revved up brain where you can't shut off the worrying, the cyclical thinking. This is all about bringing you down a couple notches to get in your body. So really love this blend. Can't say enough about it. It has the same values as Recept. But what happens when you don't get sleep over long term? You get a lot, you know, first of all, your circadian rhythm is completely off. But what happens when that happens? Well, I've seen in the clinic hormone regulation, immune, metabolic dysfunction, weight gain, low energy, brain fog. People can't even remember what, you know, short-term memory issues. So the stress of Americans getting adequate sleep is really rampant. And I believe that that's the time when we really recalibrate, we heal. And so this plant can really help usher in that deep rest that we really need. So just know that this is huge. So what can I say about these? Well, they're organically grown. They're grown on our soil right here in Colorado. Prime My Body owns these formulas. The delivery system and what's in these two extracts alone are what set this company apart. And they really have figured it out to make sure that no one's left behind. People that are getting drug tested, they're in the service industry, teachers, firefighters, police people, bus drivers, people that have gone through AA or people that don't want ethanol. They've really thought of everything. Manufactured in a kosher, halal certified facility. So these two alone are the duo to make sure that you get deep rest and that during the day you're awake, you're present, you have a clear mind, so you can be who you want to be. And I can't say enough about kudos to the company, because they really have done their research and they've really sourced out the finest seeds to really grow the best plants around. So I'm very excited to be a part of them. Now let's move the conversation a little bit around what also is happening in this country. On the surface, this looks like a serum, a skin serum, and it is. But what's happening is that your friends, your community, people might not be sharing with you the amount of out-of-pocket money they're spending on Botox and laser and all these, medical spas and esthetician services that are costing thousands and thousands of dollars so they can feel more self-esteem and feel better on how they look. The insecurities. So this is nitric oxide. I mentioned it with Dr. Ankur Mehta. He's the one that isolated and stabilized nitric oxide, which really is in every human cell. Think of it, it brings blood to the surface. So what he did is he paired it with CBD as a serum to restore, to regenerate underneath, kind of to heal the tissue, the subdermal layer. Really, really amazing. What's happening is that you actually produce nitric oxide. You actually decrease the levels. It looks like 10 to 20%, 10 to 12% every 10 years. And so we don't have that. So aging, it looks like dehydration on the skin. We want to bring the blood there. We want to bring the CBD there. And what happens? It brings oxygen. It brings nutrients, it brings hydration, and the CBD helps repair the skin so you can bring life back. It's really, really amazing. Here's a slide that shows you some testimonials after 7 days or 2 weeks of people using this. So I can't stress enough to include this part of your regimen or to open up the conversation with people in your community that are injecting toxins into their skin to feel better about themselves. As well as I do, self-esteem and how you feel and your skin, is about how on the inside. It's an inside job, but we can use products like this to really help. I call it a two-prong approach to really holistically, really embrace how we feel. And it's also how we look. So after the serum, we use the moisturizer. Again, everything has organic hemp in it. This is a topical. And the reason this one is different than any other topical, it has 1,000 milligrams of cannabis sativa L. Okay, the most I've ever seen in my clinical practice, in my research, is 500 milligrams. So this is potent. You only need a little bit. It smells amazing and it works really well. And it lasts a long time. 2-ounce tin. This company was formulated and founded on hemp protein. This has so many amazing botanicals in it: low glycemic coconut sugar, stevia, raw cacao. If you want to have a hemp protein, this is definitely one to carry. I think it's about $39. And the lip balm, last product that they carry. I've had a lot of lip balms in my life, and when they first came out with this, I was like, that's interesting, a hemp lip balm. Do we really need that? But in the autumn, it's all about dryness, and yes, the answer is yes, we do, because everything we put inside our bodies and everything we put on our bodies matters. And as you know, reading labels has become I had to learn to read a food label, a supplement label. Reading cannabis labels or worse, even lip balm. Companies are putting so many additives that you just don't need. So this company has really figured it out. So what's very awesome about this is that they have a couple different paths. If you're a health practitioner, you can get a wholesale account and go that health route. But the cool thing is that they have a network marketing piece. And what that means is you can pay $39 a year and get access to wholesale. And they also give you an online store. And what's amazing about that is that you can earn money to not only just get free products, but also earn income. And why is this important? Well, Once you understand the benefits of endocannabinoid system and boosting it and benefits of hemp, you're realizing that not only do you need to be on these products, but everybody you know needs to be on them. And so from a business standpoint, this is a amazing timing of an opportunity as a vehicle for you to have deeper conversations with people about health, about finances and resources, but also being, kind of like a lighthouse, in your community, being a person that people can come to know that you can recommend some products that actually work, that are not, based on money, trying to earn money, that are really products that are based on service and helping people feel better. So how can we serve you? You can become a preferred customer. You can also get wholesale pricing, or you can become an affiliate. So you get own website and online store within minutes after paying the $39. You also have an opportunity to get access to big packages. And I don't want to go into all the little finite details, but this company is going to reward you for sharing, the products and the business opportunity. If when you join, there is this thing called the fast start bonus. And so what that means is that in the first 30 days of you becoming an affiliate, there's a lot of incentives for you to earn money very quickly. So you have resources to make a bigger difference. So there is, again, there's a lot of really cool stuff this company is doing. And I would say circle back with the person that invited you to this webinar or this phone call to learn a little bit more about the details. But it's pretty profound on all the ways that they want to compensate you for sharing this. There's a lot of support. If you want to be a part of this company in a full-time way, it's available. There's calls almost every day. But you get to decide. You get to decide on what relationship you want with the products, with the company, with us, with the person that invited you. You get to drive your ship. They do have an incentive trip. They're paying people to go to Cancun, a week-long vacation. It's actually pretty reasonable. I think it's sharing this with 7 people and you get to go. So again, more around that if you're interested. But this is the last slide. Here we are. Take a look at this. You're at the beginning. This company is 2 years old. They opened up in Japan, Taiwan, and Mexico. And next year, they're going to open up in Canada and Europe. They're adding new products, and then the international expansion begins. So you're here at the beginning. You're joining and you're hearing about this opportunity at such a time where the company has figured out how to collect credit cards, and the company has an app, a smartphone app, and the company has direct deposit in your bank, so you get paid instantly every week. I mean, it's really incredible that you have an online store after 3 minutes of paying your $39, and you can sell in countries around the world. So really phenomenal opportunity. How do you see yourself getting started? I would really encourage you to reach out to any of us that have invited you. Anytime that we get on the phone with you, I'm going to leave you with this. What we want to know is, who are you? What are your dreams? What lays on your heart? What fuels you, or what wakes you up in the middle of the night? What are you thinking about at the end of the day? What is occupying your heart? And how can we help you move into being more of an influence, making a bigger difference, having the life that you want? And if that includes more health, if you're struggling with a health issue, or if you haven't figured out the financial literacy piece, this is a vehicle. This is a vehicle for you to work on yourself, get out of your comfort zone, find support, and coupled with us as a community of a tribe of people that we're creating and calling forth, but also with a financial vehicle, it's really profound. So I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I just want to say thank you so much, because I know your time is precious, and I just hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.